it's a Vergil week, but I was wondering if you could tell the people just how excited are you about Tristan Cruz as a young prospect in the sport, as a young potential superstar? How excited are you to have him in the stable? What can you tell the people about him? Because I know he's still a young prospect.
Look, I mean, Tristan's is a young prospect who we're going to move fast because of his amateur experience, because of his pedigree, because of how he's been looking inside the ring lately. We can now step him up. We can now move him along, steadily and get him to the top. He has what it takes. He has not only the charisma, the looks, the height, the punch. He has everything to become one of those special fighters. So we're really looking forward to it.
And, Vergil is one of those young prospects that's now, a budding superstar. What have you made of his rise? Did you expect it this soon? Did you know right away, looking back on it, when you first signed him to his first few fights?
Well, look, I mean, when we first signed him, we knew we had something special. But in boxing, you're as good as your last fight, and the fact that Vergil has been just looking great every single time, and we step him up, and he still looks great, and he continues to look even better. So he's kind of guiding us on how we want to take him along, and it's been kind of easy for us to just keep on stepping him up, and he's been walking right through his opponent. So, this Saturday night, I think this might be the toughest test on paper for him. But we'll wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
And I heard an interesting comparison that Vergil is kind of where maybe Errol Spence was 4 or 5 years ago, where he's an elite young fighter, but guys don't want to fight him because it's too much of a risk. Do you see that comparison? And how can Vergil graduate to get the big fights, the super fights?
Yeah, no, I think that depending on how Saturday goes, we'll see if he's ready for the big time. I feel he is. I feel that what he showed in the past, he can go up against any fighter out there. And look, and I'll say it now. I mean, we'll put him in against anybody, but will those fighters want to fight him? That's the question. We'll have to wait and see. I think that if Vergil knocks out Maurice Hooker easily, then I want to call out Terrence Crawford.
And Mr. Ryan Garcia, we had a lot of buzz around the Pacquiao announcement that is kind of settled down now. We're not sure what's going on, and also potentially the Tank Davis fight. Where do we stand right now? What can you tell us what's going on?
No, look, we have plans for Ryan Garcia. We're going to sit down with him next week. We've already talked to his management. They love the idea. It's a pretty unique idea that we're going to present to him. And then we'll take it from there. I think Ryan, he's in a very unique position. I mean, look, he's a young fighter who again wants to fight the very best. We have a plan for him. We just, as promoters, have to do our job and present to him the right plan. I strongly feel that he's maybe 1 fight or 2 fight away from fighting for a world title. So I'm very excited.
Do you like the Pacquiao fight? Do you think he can beat Pacquiao?
Oh, absolutely. I love that fight, but it's obviously impossible to make. I mean, Pacquiao already has his plans.
And as far as Marvin Hagler as well, I wanted to get a word on it. The Tommy Hearns fight, is that, where's that fight ranked amongst your favorites?
That Thomas Hearns versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler has to be the best 4 rounds that we've ever seen in the history of boxing. But that's who Marvelous Marvin Hagler was. See, in that fight, I feel that Thomas Hearns wanted to bring it to Marvelous Marvin Hagler, but Marvelous just brought it to Thomas Hearns. It's like, but that's who he was. I was shocked. I was pretty devastated because you hear about celebrities dying and athletes and this and that, and a couple that shocked me that were like Michael Jackson and Prince, and you hear about these deaths, and when I heard about Marvelous Marvin Hagler, I was in shock. I was like, my gosh, he was so young. How did that happen? He was in such great shape, and he took care of himself, and but you just never know. So he will always be one of my greatest fighters that I've ever watched on TV.
One last one for you. Some fairly big fight news just in the world of boxing. We had Joshua Fury more or less announced.
Oh, that's me. Is that me?
More or less signed, apparently.
Apparently.
Just your thoughts on that fight. How do you see that one?
It depends who announced it. Was it Bob Arum or
It was ESPN via Eddie Hearn.
Wow.
But
look, I mean,
this is a fight fan. How do you see that one?
If that fight gets made, or if it's made, I'm a huge fan of it. I love it. I mean, that's what boxing needs. That's what boxing should be. Best fight the best. Let's go. I mean, what are they waiting for? For them to get older? It doesn't make sense. I mean, come on. Let's look. Joshua's an amazing champion. I love him. I love his style. I love what he represents. But he has Tyson Fury in front of him. Tyson Fury. I mean, the Gypsy King. I love him. I mean, when have we seen such a big guy move so elusive? He just moves like a lightweight up in the ring. I would have to pick Tyson over Joshua, just because he's very elusive, and the fact that he was like the what do you call the wrestler that comes back alive from the dead. The Undertaker, when he got hit by Deontay Wilder and then he gets up. I mean, that's heart. That is heart. The epitome of heart. So I would have to go with Tyson on that one.
Is he like the closest thing you've seen to like a complete fighter at the heavyweight division since way back in the day, man?
Complete. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, every fighter is always missing something. Every fighter is not perfect. Every fighter, look. I mean, there's a few flaws that I can see in Tyson, but he has a lot of attributes that are very positive that he does well. He's close to being almost perfect. I mean, he's a big guy. He can hit. He can move. He's fast. He's a thinker. So he's mentally strong. He has a big heart. He believes in the right, in the right message. I love his message. It's awesome. So that fight, but then you have Joshua that, he's also that perfect fit. So this fight here should be made now.
Absolutely.
Now.
Absolutely. Oscar, really appreciate your time.
My man. All right. Nice.